Alright, welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. And I am recording this after the video was recorded because when I started this video, I forgot to turn on my microphone. It's a rookie mistake, so all my commentary was lost. So I'm recording this after the fact. I'll try to provide some commentary here and there. But it's going to be sparse, so just warning you about that. Basically, what we're doing this episode is doing some more preparation, clearing out this area on the left here for getting ready for hydrogen power, which we don't quite get to in this episode because I got to set up more transformers and all of that, but we're preparing now. Up here I've got atmospheric suit docking station, which is going to allow us to construct buildings on the surface of the asteroid, solar panels, satellites, things like that, radars, things like that. So we're getting ready for that too. So we don't actually get there. A lot of this episode is like making progress towards several goals, which is our goals of hydrogen power and building stuff on the surface, but we don't actually get there. Not quite yet. There's a lot of preparation to do. Yeah, here we've got a bunch of polluted water that's just making a mess of my oxygen. There's so much polluted oxygen here. We gotta clean that up. So if you don't feel like watching this episode without the commentary, because there's really not going to be much, after this I'm gonna I'll provide little bits of commentary here and there, but there's not going to be much after that, and you could probably skip it because, like I said, this whole episode is just making progress towards several goals that we've had in place for a long time. There's no big events or anything that happen in this episode. So you could probably skip it and not miss anything, not miss too much. But if you stick around, I'll provide a little bit of commentary here and there. Yeah, here I'm trying to fix our situation we got ourselves in last time, which is I got germified water past where it was supposed to get, and so we had to pump it to that reservoir down at the bottom there. And we're going to have to pump it back into the chlorine room up top. But first I have to empty out those reservoirs, those two reservoirs above. So it's a whole mess, but luckily this mistake did not wind up germifying our clean water, which would have been bad. And here I'm going to take the copper, because that is a lot of copper. And I could use that. I could refine it, and I can use it for conductive wiring, which I'm going to want to switch over to probably next episode. We're going to be using more of that. And we need lime to produce steel, so we can get that from cracked eggshells, putting them in a rock crusher. And that's what I'm going to do next, I think. That'll get us a step closer to producing steel, which we can use for surface facilities. Now here I'm trying to mop up the polluted water in the brine pit, but and it kind of works. Trying to get it out of there, but it doesn't really do the job. I get some of it out, but at the same time I'm mopping up a lot of the brine, which I don't want to do. I just want the polluted water. Yeah, I found that one tile of neutronium, which I don't know if it's significant or not, but I'm going to try to build a ladder there. See what's down there. Although it never gets completed this episode because the dupes are just so busy. And here I'm just looking at power options, wiring options. And I kind of decide this is where I need to upgrade. This is when I need to upgrade from power transformers to large power transformers. Because the power transformers have a limited power output of 1 kilowatt, which is not going to be enough. So you can see here the jukebox takes 960 kilowatts by itself. Which is probably why whenever they use it, it's only active for like 2 seconds and then it stops. So once we clear out some area on the left side for transformers, because I'm moving all the transformers that I have further to the left, so I got to rebuild all of them. I'll probably rebuild them as large power transformers. And we will use conductive wires instead of wires, because wires, regular wires, have a max wattage of 1 kilowatt. Conductive wire has a max power of 2 kilowatts, which is probably enough to feed everything on one row, which is the intention. Each power transformer feeds one row each. Basically, with some exceptions. Sometimes we'll have power, sometimes we'll have wires running around and going to different levels or rows, but generally we'll have a power transformer on the left side, and then from there we'll have a conductive wire going all the way through and just powering everything from left to right on that row. Now we've got all kinds of spills from, I assume, melted ice. Yeah, I think there was some ice up there that melted. But there's no more, so we should be good now. And here I'm trying to figure out this teleportation thing again. I think these this is a teleporter output. I think it's paired with an input somewhere. Like the input and output are different buildings, but I don't know where the input is. So I think I'm going to try to activate this one, but it doesn't do anything by itself. It needs to be paired with an input. But on this other asteroid, it also has an output there, but there's no input building. I can't find it, although I did not explore this asteroid thoroughly. So there could be an input building somewhere. But I don't know. I still don't know how to use these teleporters. And there are no entries in the index that help with this. No entries about teleportation, so kind of left on my own to figure it out. Which we will eventually. Maybe when we visit other asteroids with our rocket ship. We'll find a teleporter input Yeah, I'm activating it, but I don't think it's going to do anything. Oh, he didn't finish it yet. Well, he does finish it eventually. But it doesn't really have any effect. Now we finished lime production, so we can move on to making steel. Steel has an overheat temperature of plus 200 degrees Celsius, which is great. That means it's good for construction of buildings like the metal refinery or other buildings that tend to get really, really hot. Good for reservoirs that hold hot liquids. Or pumps. I guess you could make pumps out of steel to pump hot liquids. Now the somnium synthesizer, I think one of my dupes has been dreaming. And there's this dispenser, pajamas dispenser, which apparently produces pajamas indefinitely, because I've gotten at least one pair of pajamas from it already. So I'm gonna try to get more dupes in pajamas so that they dream. Yeah, there you can see it says teleporter disabled, 1 of 2. So it must be paired with another one somewhere. Yeah, here I'm trying to clean up that polluted oxygen because we're getting a lot of free oxygen from it, but it's nasty and disgusting. And I think here is when I realized I've run out of coal again. So I'm going to have to dig more. And eventually I'll build another, after a minute or two, I'll build another manual generator to keep things running. And I'll have to disable some buildings to save on power. So I think what I'm going to do, I didn't get around to it this time, but I think what I'm going to do is make one hydrogen power facility, power generator, and I'll have that just to sort of supplement my coal generators, because I don't think we have enough hydrogen to power more than one generator. I'm not really sure, but that won't be this episode, that'll be next episode. And I'm even going to have to disable my red generator, which is a bummer, because it's going to be losing power off and on for a little while, and every time it loses power, the reds stored in there just disappear. So there's no sense in keeping it on, which is a bummer, but I'll have to turn that back on. I think I disable it pretty soon, but I'll have to turn that back on after we get hydrogen power. So right now, just dealing with power shortages, getting the areas on the left side dug out, preparing for making room for the large transformers, which I want to start using. Yeah, you can see red bolt generation is 0 of 50 because it lost power. And now I'm just disabling buildings, rust oxidizer, boombox, anything that's not critical. so I think that'll be it for the commentary. From here on forward, there's just about 8 minutes left. And most of it is just clearing out more room on this side here, on the left side. This is where my power transformers will go. And getting more power generation with the manual generators, keeping my dupes busy. It's unfortunate, but we gotta do it. We are completely out of coal. So, sorry for the mishap in this episode. And I'll try to make sure it doesn't happen again. It has happened before. I think this is the second time that I've had this problem, and it's unfortunate. But next episode will be... I'll do a better job next episode. And hopefully we'll actually get around to hydrogen power generation. We're getting close. We're getting real close. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching.